Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to do another special video, and I was kind of debating should I do this, because everything that I post, I try to make sure that whatever it is educational and enlightening and helpful. So I thought about it, and I said, yeah, I think it's possible to do this, because what I'm going to talk about perhaps in this short video is things that you would never get wind of or know of sitting in the music classroom, or other people in the music industry share with you. So I think it's important to do this video, and it's entitled, you have to adjust your playing style and your writing style. And what I mean by that is, I give you a good example, use me as an example. Back in the, I say late 80s, early 90s is when I kind of had my really good heyday run with writing songs and charting songs and hit songs. And then after the tail end of the Teddy Riley New Jack Swing era kind of died down, because I was excited about that. I was making a lot of money. I was doing the kind of stuff that Teddy would kind of do as far as drum programming, that I call it the triplet on the kick drum and the hi-hat, boom, bump, 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 bump. All that stuff was going on, and multiple snares, like on the song Poison, there was actually two identical snares and two different pads, and you kind of quantized them and had them rocking back and forth. Because when I first tried to do that, I was like, I'm hitting one pad, I'm like, I'm not getting that feel. And then I kind of figured that I'm like, I hear two drums, I hear two snares, and they're rocking back and forth. So I wrote a song called In Your Eyes for Ricky Bell from New Edition and Bev DeVoe, and that song kind of had that Teddy Riley underlying groove. So that was a pretty good time for me. And then when the Timberland era kind of ushered in, it was kind of like, what is this? And I wasn't knocking it. It's just there was a change, and I was so used to having my drums so active and writing a very good active drum program. But then I went from writing kind of complicated or intricate drum programs, which I liked, because, you want to emulate a real drummer. Would a real drummer sit there and just do the whole entire song, just keep a beat, don't crash, no tom-tom, nothing, crescendos, no. So I was trying to emulate what a drummer would do in that situation. And again, when the Timberland era kind of ushered in, it was like it went from that to just boom, boom, boom. It was hand claps. It was no more elaborate, real funky, nice compressed snares. I'm like, what is this? So I was fortunate enough where I didn't waste my money when I was making that kind of money, because I'm like, I don't want to struggle my entire life, so be wise, do things that will allow you not to be put in a situation where you still out there just trying to make money because you spend so much money. So I guess went into semi-retirement as far as writing, because I'm like, I can easily write this kind of stuff, but it's not really the kind of stuff I want to do. But, realistically, unless you are in a situation where you're not forced to because you need the money, you can take a break, and that's what I did. But the last year and a half, actually about a year, I've been working on a friend of mine's son's album that's coming out probably in January, and it's going to be slamming because I wrote 2 tracks on there. And once it comes close to the due date or release date, I'll give you guys the full information on it. But now I'm about to lose my train of thought. Okay, so I was fortunate enough that I could take a break. But now I'm back into it, and I'm writing for other people because they've heard some of the stuff that hasn't been released yet. And it's like, whoa, I didn't know you was, doing that kind of stuff. I just thought you was a guitar player. When actually I look at myself first and foremost as a songwriter. But they heard some of the stuff, and 99% of the stuff I write on keyboard. And the reason, well, I won't really get into the reason why, because that's a whole nother video. But the point I'm trying to make in this video is, as far as you have to make adjustments. I mean, the stuff that I wrote in the way that I wrote in the 80s, I have to make an adjustment because the music industry, as far as what's going on right now, is not a big demand for certain types of arrangements and writings. Because a good example is, again, like I told you guys, I used to write a lot of these elaborate, intricate drum programs for tracks. Now, I'm forced to kind of say, you know what, because I'm listening to everything that's going on, that era's kind of gone. So now it's just I program a funky beat, and perhaps I throw some crashes in there, here and there, and I'm done. And it's so unfortunate because I used to enjoy writing my drum programs. So now I'm forced to kind of tone it down to kind of fit in line with what's going on today, because you can't bring 20-year-old ideas into the new mix, because it's like, we done this already. We're doing something different. And you would hope that that something different is something on a higher level, when actually it's not. It's taking a step backwards. Because, I mean, normally in our society, things progress. They don't digress. But unfortunately, with R&B music, it's like it's taking a step backwards, because, you know, back in the day, I wrote these beautiful songs with different, you know, chord changes in the B section, the chorus, and the modulation. Now I'm forced to kind of write 4-chord songs like everybody else. And a lot of people might say, well, don't you know, take a step on your morals, or you know, take a step back. It's not an issue of taking a step back. It's an issue of doing what's current. You know, and this is what the industry is calling for right now. So you have to deliver. You can't sit there with your hands folded and say, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. I'm an artist. You know, you'll be a starving one. You know, so you do have to make adjustments. And I understand that, because here's a quick example regarding another adjustment in life, but it has nothing to do with music. But in life, you have to make adjustments, because nothing stays exactly the same and stays still forever. Many years ago, I was living in Illinois in a nice, quiet, mixed suburb. And it was really quiet, real peaceful. And then things start to change. And I started to notice these small little changes that grew into big changes. And the first one was, back then, there were these little machines throughout the neighborhood that had papers in them. So you didn't have to go to a paper stand or go to the gas station or the store. You can walk literally maybe a half a block from your place, open up one of those machines with, you know, 2 quarters, and get out your paper, the daily paper, and be done. All of a sudden they disappeared. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Then I started to notice a difference in how law enforcement starts to enforce the community, because the only time I would see police officers when they just on their way to take care of some business or just driving past. Then all of a sudden I started to see how they were parked and waiting. And then I started to see how they were interacting with the young people that were coming into the community, because there were quite a bit of young folks coming at that time. So the last straw for me to move was this. I was up one night working on the track, and I heard some disturbance out my window. I looked out there, and I seen how the police had this young person detained. And they put him in the squad car, and I heard them saying how they were kind of bragging and joking about how they tased him. 7 days later, I was going out the state, because I was like, I see what's coming. I don't like it. I'm getting out of here. So, you know, you have to make adjustments in life, whether you like to, want to, or not. And, you know, getting back to the music thing, the way that I write now is different from how I wrote 10 years ago, because I'm listening to what's going on out there, and I'm like, okay, I have to kind of fall in line with that. You know, I mean, I'm not going to be a carbon copy of these artists that are out there, but when you hear my stuff, you say, okay, I hear that current thing going on, but I also hear something that's unique in his own unique writing stamp. You know, so we have to be mindful of that, because I remember working with a guy. He's an extremely gifted lyricist. I mean, when I first heard this stuff, I was like, whoa, you know. And the only issue or problem that I had, and it wasn't me personally, but it was like I'm speaking as a A&R guy. What I'm hearing on the surface, as far as the lyrical content and the music, I like. But the arrangement and the actual sounds of what's going on in this recording is pretty dated. You know, so it's like in order to be current and put yourself out there in today's music world, you got to be current. You can't put anything out there that you did. Because here's another thing that kind of piggyback on what I'm about to say. You write stuff, and if it doesn't get charted or anybody picks it up, you know, it sits on your shelf for a couple of years, and it's like, whoa, I like this. But then this other style of music usher in, and you go back to this really good song, and you know you have to redo it and update it because it sounds like something you did 10 years ago. So that's something that you have to be mindful of too. If you got old demos, you got to update them, and then you present them. You know, if you did them 7, 8 years ago, they're not relevant now because music and technology revolves so quickly and changes that you have to change with it. So I think that, you know, after you guys view this video, you kind of got my point of where I'm trying to go. So I'm going to just sign off at this point. And I thank you guys, as always, for coming to my channel. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.